that offers So Predictive Analytics Lab is a consultancy firm that deals with data science training, consultancy services, and software development. At Predictive, we are committed to empower individuals with knowledge and skills they need to thrive in the data-driven world. So today's session is about equipping you with the strategies to align your interests, opportunities, and design a career path that resonates with your aspirations. So we are delighted to have an esteemed speaker, as he was earlier speaking, Aloyal, whose wealth of experience and insights are sure to inspire us and guide us. So Aloyal brings over 15 years of expertise in learning, development, and digital learning. He has been instrumental in helping professionals break through barriers and reach new career heights. So over the years, Alo has worked with top executive, industry leaders, and high growth professionals, equipping them with the tools to thrive in the competitive environment. So without much further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome Aloyo to take over the session. So welcome and do enjoy your session.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. It's good to see you. For Friday, I'm really chilled out, so I'm hoping you do not expect me in a suit and tie because today is the day to chill out. And I'm really excited to be here. And as I do this, I think it's important for me to tell my life story. I happen to be the first offspring of my parents, of course, aka firstborn. And what happened in my life is that I was a specimen for every other thing, especially after high school. So there was no one to guide me, there was no one to mentor me. And I got to learn so many things along the way, do so many courses along the way. But in all that, I must say that my skills have been sharpened, no knowledge is wasted, but perhaps I would have been someone different or in a different industry altogether had I had someone to mentor me right from the start. And even when I look back anyway, uh, way back in the days, it was so difficult to get the kind of opportunities that you people are enjoying right now. So you really need to count your blessings and understand that the world has many opportunities, both good and bad. What you go for is actually your own decision right here, right now. So this particular webinar today is just designed to guide you and help you make the right decisions. Perhaps you already know what you want to do, but it doesn't matter. We will be able to cover a few areas that will make you more strategic in your approach to navigating your career. So we're going to discuss about the next big thing, navigating your interests, your opportunities, and career path. All right. So I've already been introduced. So basically, if you look for me on LinkedIn, and please do, my name is Aloyo Mateshe. Reach out to me either by connection or follow me just to see the stuff that I post, mostly touching on leadership and many other things. But I have a passion for leadership, and I also have a passion for the topic of emotional intelligence, AI, and simply digital skills. And this is the space that the world is moving to. You guys need to really move with the speed that the world is moving at. So basically, I help individuals and organizations to leverage their unique strengths and maximize positive impact through learning and development initiatives. The webinar we're having today is a learning and development initiative. So in all this, I'm hoping that I'll empower you to shape your future in the right way, in the best way I can. All right? You're already on your journey, you're already on your path. There is nothing I can do about that because everyone's path is different. But the worst thing you'll do as well as you try to navigate your journey in terms of your career is to compare your journey to someone else's. Everyone's journey is unique. So always remember that. Now, uh, we're going to have an interesting session, or so I hope. I would like you guys to be very interactive. The moderator will be checking out for any questions that have been sent out within the chat along the way. Maybe save those questions for later, but if we have to attack them during the presentation, then no problem at all. I'm ready to go because this is designed to help you make smarter decisions for yourself. So what we'll cover today, these are some of the things we're going to cover today. Exploring your career path, understanding your personality type. Oh my goodness. This issue of understanding the personality type is something I've discovered very late in life, but I'm now using it to guide people to get the right path for themselves. So we're going to do that today. So we're also going to talk about skill development with a focus on data analytics and AI. Then we'll discuss about personal and professional branding and how to stand out. Now, some people will stress on personal branding, others will hardly talk about professional branding, but I like separating them because your personal brand will be my description of you on TikTok or IG, but your professional brand, say on LinkedIn, must be different. Must be different. So I've seen people making a mistake of positioning themselves on LinkedIn in exactly the same way they do on IG or TikTok or Facebook. Never use them the same way. So there's a big difference between personal and professional branding, which I'll tackle that today as well, because this is the time, it's the right time. You've just perhaps completed high school and the world is waiting for you with open arms. Networking and mentorship, then career growth strategies, then we'll have a Q&A and real-time coaching that I'll provide to you people. So are you ready? Just confirm in the chat whether you're ready and we shall move on to the next step. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can see the thumbs up signs. All right, so I need you to go to this particular site. I want you to scan that. You'll join it at slido.com. Either you scan that or you go to slido.com and input that particular number, and then I'll wait for your answers to come through so that we take it from there. And also, meanwhile, just so that we don't have any trouble with the network or internet connectivity, I just at this moment in time, I'll turn off my video so that we don't have any issues. Have you guys managed to access Slido? Because I'm waiting for your feedback. Anyone having an issue? This is a good day to have trouble like this. You have to embrace technology. That's why I did this. All right. Okay. I'm hoping you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Then we're doing well. All right. So what's one career-related challenge you're currently facing? Okay. Fine. So it seems like personal and professional branding takes the day, but we'll touch on everything else. Okay, 2 participants are ranking. Let's just wait. Okay. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So basically, based on this feedback that we are getting right now, um, I'm really excited that you're having issues or challenges with personal and professional branding. You know, the thing here is, and we're going to cover this as well, but it's important for me to mention this nice and early. Social media can be a tool that will either elevate you or completely dismantle your brand totally. And it's through social media, or let me not say that it's through social media. One thing many people never realize is that employers these days will go through your social media platforms to see the kind of person you are before they employ you. So if you're careless in the way you present yourself on social media, things will be thick. Another one that is quite exciting for me, if you told me, is that having be staying motivated and being focused as a challenge, and for you to know that it is a challenge, that's a beautiful thing. There are so many things to distract you right now, and that makes it so difficult to follow through with many plans that we have of late. So for me, those are very, very, very good responses so far. Thank you very much for participating in that. So as we look at the career compass, one of the things we have to really see as we navigate this is that we have to understand what our interests are. If you have any hobbies that make sense, that can build you or that can even generate you income, those are the kind of hobbies that you can also focus on and sharpen your skills on. The point here is not about going wide and learning everything you know and trying to have all sorts of hobbies. The point here is about going deep. Get to understand one particular hobby, maximum 3, and specialize properly. Dig deep, become an expert. So that's very important. So, in the same breath, go for your passion projects. In terms of your strength, look out for what you consider to be your technical skills and your soft skills. I have seen people already in the earlier question I asked about what their top 3 skills are. Some have talked about hiking, others have already talked about playing instruments. The people that play instruments, keep them very close. That's what I'll tell you. Why? With the way the world is going right now, I've also come to a time in my life when I've realized that when you don't really stretch your mind and to be able to involve different parts of your body. What do I mean? Sports like, say, table tennis, sports like badminton, sports like lawn tennis, and sports like table soccer that require you to use your eyes, your hands, and your feet at the same time. Maybe you're shouting at someone to shoot the ball and make a score. Those kind of things that involve your many different parts of your body at the same time. Playing instruments, you're listening, you're listening to music as you play it, as you do stuff. Those things are very good for your brain. I digress, but forgive me for that. But yes, so think about your technical skills and think about your soft skills. Soft skills covers a very wide area, but it is very important. As you take your notes, for those who are taking notes, find out what soft skills are and which are the hot soft skills that one needs to have in the year 2025, or what were the top soft skills of 2024. Once you get that list, you'll be able to understand what you need to focus on and build on in order to remain competitive in the world as it is right now. All right. So again, when you understand your personality, you will be able to know what things can I do that will help me or that will complement my personality. Am I an introvert or am I an extrovert? And then as you do that, you need to be looking out for opportunities. You go straight to the job market, no one knows you, you do a good application, and then you go in, perhaps you get a job, or you depend on some bit of networking, attending events, talking about what you do, learning how best to introduce yourself in under a minute so that someone immediately understands what you are all about when they talk to you. All right? So that is how it is. To the people for predictive analytics, please just check on the back end because I'm getting a few texts here, people saying they found it difficult to join the webinar. I don't know if it's full or not, but just check that on the back end, just for information. Next, I need you to also do this other test. Let's do this other poll. It's not a test. It's another poll. And be ready for me to throw assignments your way as we go along. We are going to do a personality test, and I'll want each of you to also do one today, so that by the time we finish this session, you go away understanding your personality, that then I will use that information to guide you on exactly how then you can navigate your career. Interesting, interesting. All right. So we can work with the feedback we've received so far. And I also like the responses so far. So the top for all of you right now is opportunities for growth. And what I pick out from that as we discuss this is that most of you are into lifelong learning. You embrace continuous learning because if you don't, then you cannot have the opportunities for growth. You can only grow if you're learning something new. If you're not learning anything new, then you stagnate. So for me, I'm also really happy about that feedback from your end, from you guys. About the work-life balance, that is quite interesting. That is quite interesting. It's important, but quite interesting that it has come in as the second one, as being very, very important to you people. Alignment with your interests, of course, that's very important. High earning potential, of course, that's important as well. However, I told you we can't finish everything we need to discuss today. When, God willing, you'll be thrown into the job market, you will realize that earning so much money may not be so important in as much as being in an organization that embraces a positive work culture. So some people can walk away from good paying jobs and go for lower paying jobs as long as the companies they are going to have a more positive work culture. When you don't have a positive work culture, then it gets into the way again of your work-life balance. All right. So for me, that's it's really, really important for us to see these things firsthand. All right. I can see the competition is going on, but not a problem at all. We at least have made some sense out of this to see where we all are in terms of what our desires are. All right. Okay. So I would like you guys to go to that particular website right now. What I will want us to do is to take that free personality test right now. And the best way to know whether or not people will have completed is to check out and see. Once you complete, go into the chat and just say you've completed the personality test. Or once you've completed the personality test, come to the chat and give us the exact personality type you are, because from there, we're going to have something interesting going on. All right? Okay, so crack on with that. We will know when to stop this particular exercise once the first person has just said, I'm done with the personality test. And don't take too much time thinking. Just do it as you see it. Answer the question as you see it. Don't reflect on it. Be your authentic self as you do that particular personality test, because that then will reveal who you really are. All right? So let's go. Just let's do that, and then we shall move on to the next steps. So for those who've just come in right now, in case you came in before after I had given the guidance for this, I want each one of you to do the personality test right now. And once someone has finished, they need to post in the chat what type of personality they have. That will also give us guidance on whether or not people have finished. Yeah.
Excuse me, do you have a link for the personality test?
Yes, it's on the screen. Can you see the screen? 16personalities.com. Yes.
Okay, kindly asking, how does one do the personality test?
All right. Are you able to see the link on the screen?
Definitely.
Okay, let me.
Yes.
Yes. Are you able then to go to that website, or should I get a link for you within the chat? Can the moderator get that link for me on the chat, please? Yes, it's already there. In the chat, the link is there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mutua. Please share your personality type here. Not the link to the results, but just like what type of personality do you have? Mm. Oh. So Robert is a diplomat. Under diplomat, there'll be the advocate, there'll be the mediator, there'll be the protagonist, there'll be the campaigner. All right. Okay. Interesting. 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 I'll wait for two more answers, then we crack on with the next challenge. David, I haven't quite got your personality type. You just said introverted 51%, or did I miss it? There must be something else. Yes, David, that helps me. That is good. Thank you. Okay, so I've stopped sharing for a reason. There's something else I want us to do very quickly. Let me just get ready here on the background so that we do something together. So let me share my. All right, so I need you guys to pay attention here completely. I know you already have interactions with AI. I would have gone to ChatGPT, fine, but the new thing, the new kid on the block is DeepSeek at the moment, also very, very good. But let me see if I managed to copy that. Okay, fine. So are you able to see my screen? Just confirm by a show of thumbs up. All right. There were two entertainers so far in the feedback given. Can they just tell us or confirm if the feedback so far is pointing in their direction in terms of where they want to go? Can you guys now see why it's important to really get a firm understanding of your personality? Because then you don't waste time trying out different things without being unsure. We have so many options available to you once you understand your personality. All right. So for this, to me, is the most important here. It has given a lot of feedback, but I want everyone else to just get to understand how I put this prompt here for it to guide me and give me the right feedback. But for the entertainer, avoid overly structured or repetitive jobs. So an entertainer, for instance, will be very bored in a job of 8 to 5 behind a laptop the whole day, every day. They will go crazy. You think they are foolish, but they are very smart people. It's only that the job is not complementing their personality types. They need to be stepping out of the office. Maybe it's a sales role, maybe it's a marketing role. You're going to do activations in different places, meeting clients, finding out if they're doing well. So customer experience kind of roles will be very good. And they will need to leverage on their people skills. So this is very important. So this is the prompt I gave this to get that feedback. So that's it from me for this particular one. So right now we go back to the presentation. Any questions up to there? Was that point clear about the personality and how to make use of AI to guide you on the right path? Are we together up to there? Please confirm. All right. Thank you. So how then can we future-proof our careers? So there are several areas that can be covered. This is not everything. However, in every sector, you will need to make use of technology no matter what. So whatever we are discussing here, just think of, even if I want to be a doctor, even if I want to be a physiotherapist, even if I want to be a pilot, even if I want to be a teacher, how will I make AI make me more productive in whatever I do? You know, the thing here is, there's the hot rumor that AI will come and take over jobs for people. Well, I don't really think that is true. Yes, a few people may suffer, no problem, but the people that will really suffer are the people that will not have embraced AI. The harsh truth here is that AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. So, as part of the guidance today, I need you to use AI in a smart and ethical way. Because using AI blindly is more like giving someone leakage to examinations, yet they are already pretty much stupid and they don't know what to do with it. But if you're able to just use your own smartness, then know how AI can complement what you do, then that will be the smart way to go. So let's look at this. So when you talk about machine learning, so how do you future-proof your career? So when you talk about machine learning, we're thinking about how to develop algorithms that improve through experience. Then when we look at upskilling should be continuous. And it's just at the same, I mean, I liken it to the next point about lifelong learning. So learning new skills to stay relevant in the job market is very, very, very important. And again, I'm saying this, you've got so many options on your table. Please don't go out of your way to learn everything that comes to your table. Instead of going wide, please go deep. Get to learn 1, 2, or a maximum 3 tools and really go deep to become an expert in using those particular tools. So that when you talk about those tools, your passion can be seen and people will know that you can actually be able to solve 1 or 2 problems using that particular application. So lifelong learning is very important, continuous education to help you adapt to changing technologies. That is very important. My own personal story, I still have relatives who have refused to switch over to smartphones. They don't want them, they don't want to learn. They cannot stand that our phone does not have any buttons. That's just it. So you can't find them on WhatsApp, you can't find them anywhere. You have to find them through other means. They have refused to continue learning. They have refused to embrace technology. So adaptability then comes in as the next thing. You have to be flexible and open to change as you navigate your career path. So that's very important as well. Then embrace data analytics and AI. Data is a big thing in the world right now. So when you also do the data analytics, when you become a certified data scientist, you will be able to analyze data and make informed decisions based on that data, or to be able to predict trends based on data. And this particular act, for people that have really learned data science, it has saved organizations lots and lots of money, because then they are ahead of their competitors and they make decisions based on the data they have collected ahead of time. So that's very important. So understanding and working with artificial intelligence is a plus for you, and it is important for you to embrace it without fail. All right. So our next slide is again another challenge about what skill do you want to develop most at the moment? You go to slido.com, put in that number or scan to go and do the poll. Right? So anyway, it seems like many people have an interest in data analytics, which is a good thing. We also have others that are interested in creativity, interested in coding and programming. Coding and programming is that one is a multi-million-dollar industry, just like data analytics. So everything here is very, 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 very important. Interesting. Interesting that even data analytics is at the very top. And I think I would mention that, of course, you are in the right place if that's the path you want to follow, because predictive analytics over the years has helped so many people become data scientists of repute, and they also have been getting very, very many organizations coming to the organization. I mean, very many organizations approaching predictive analytics, asking for who the top students are for them then to get jobs in this particular field of data analytics. So this one is quite hot in the market right now, for sure. I can confirm that. All right. Coding and programming, you can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. And once you again, there are so many programming languages. Please narrow down to one or two and drill deep. Today, I'll be telling you people about specializing. Specializing is key to making you stand out from everyone else. It is okay to know many things about many different things, but you'll be more outstanding, or you'll stand out more as a professional and a thought leader in a particular area when you've drilled deep and people know that you know everything about a particular subject. That then will help you command some very serious respect among professionals. All right, so let's move on. So I'm going to narrow down and just focus for now, just focus on building skills in data analytics and AI. So there are many different applications that can be used, and the use of predictive analytics cuts across different sectors. So you understanding data analytics does not tie you down to one particular industry. However, you can also decide, in the spirit of drilling deep, drilling down and going deep, you can decide that I'm going to be a data analyst for this particular area in this particular industry, so that you then become the person that is sought after to give answers about any data or any discrepancies that are being experienced within that particular industry. So that's one way. You can become a data analyst within the medical field. You can become a data analyst within the construction sector. Again, within the medical field, there are so many aspects to it. Within construction industry, there are so many small other things, many other wheels turning in there. There is enough for everyone to do. If you drill deep, you'll not have many competitors. If you do a lot of stuff at the same time, if you go wide, well, there'll be many of you who don't have depth in their knowledge in whatever they're doing. So think about going deep. It's a very important thing to do. Then of critical importance, you need to understand the significance of data analytics and AI. What is their significance? In all honesty, and from my experience, their significance is actually to make your life easier and to make you more productive and to save you money in the long run. That is what it is all about. All right? Then when we look at learning resources, we have free platforms for you to develop your skills, and we also have paid platforms for you to develop your skills. Some of the free platforms will allow you to study up to the very end for a particular course, but if you want certification, then you've got to pay. We have others that allow you to pay a certain amount of money one-off for a period of, say, 2 years. You may pay, say, $50 for 2 years for unlimited access to a lot of their products in terms of training. So the only person limiting yourself in terms of how you navigate and become successful in your career, the only person limiting you is yourself. One thing I always tell young people is that you are the greatest project of your life. Work as hard as you can to make the project successful. All right? I touched on this very early on as we began this particular webinar. And the point here is that I insist that there's a difference between personal and professional branding. Both complement each other, but if your personal brand is strong, then your professional brand will benefit from that strong personal brand. So my point here is that what we do in social media is very important. We have to be very careful about not overexposing ourselves or about not posting stuff that can make people unhappy or create fights. Those things will not help you at all. You have to be careful. And I also mentioned that employers these days go out of their way to check social media accounts of their prospective employees, even current employees. Right now, we do have organizations that will regularly do a background check on you, even though you are already employed with them. So it doesn't mean that if your social media accounts are clean and you get a good job, now you can go crazy and start acting the way you want. Sometimes you may just lose your job because of not handling your social media accounts appropriately. So as we look at the personal brand, please, you need to define your brand. And you need to identify your strengths, and then you need to let these ones get out there to make you get noticed in the right way. Even as a professional, I urge everyone to see themselves as a brand. When you see yourself as a brand, there'll be some things that you will not be able to do because they will be working against your personal and professional brand. In terms of the online presence, yes, social media is still online presence, but we do have LinkedIn as a professional platform for people to engage in. How you carry yourself on IG or TikTok should not be the same way you carry yourself on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is totally different. You have to approach it in a different way. If we find time, we could look at that some other time, or we could even look at it today. But the point here is that you really need to be careful about how you are carrying yourself. Very careful. So when we talk about social media, always have a professional image and always be wary of your own privacy. All right? For people that visit relatives or maybe any relatives or friends with children, you take pictures with the kids, then you post on social media. You don't need to do that. You don't need to post the kids on social media if the parents have not done so or if they don't want to. So sometimes some things we do without thinking, yet in real sense, exposing minors to social media may end up endangering them, or people will be busy in the background, because these things happen. People are busy in the background collecting your pictures and creating fake accounts with all your pictures. And sometimes when things go wrong, you find it really difficult to wiggle out of any issues or any difficult situations because your pictures have been used and you can't explain how people have all your pictures. And another thing about social media, ladies and gentlemen, please never forget that the internet never forgets. So watch what you say, what you do, and what you post all the time. My advice to you is to constantly pause before you post. Pause before you post. Is this post going to elevate my brand? Am I helping other people? Or am I getting into a fight on social media? You need to really ask yourself those questions because they're important. Do not get emotional. Do not do things that you will end up regretting, because people are very quick to take screenshots. They'll come back and bite you with those screenshots showing exactly what you said at a previous time. Another thing that is very common out here are leaked nude pictures and things like that. Whatever level of love you are feeling with anyone, I do not encourage you, and I will never encourage you to be tempted to go taking nude pictures. Those things will sacrifice your brand and they will dismantle who you are completely. You will never have a face and you'll never have a leg to stand on when you face your family, when you face your co-workers. It will be so shameful. So be very careful about people that might request you, or if you feel tempted that you want to take nudes and share with people, don't do it. Because even on your phones, Google keeps saving photos automatically without your consent. Whatever applications they are, they keep saving. The permissions we give to the applications on our phones, we have given them permission to access everything on our phones. So even if we have funny stuff on our phones, they are accessible by other people. Will those things lead you or land you into trouble? Yes, they can. So do your best to just avoid. Because the internet is crazy and it can get you into very big trouble. So next, I want us to just discuss about how to build connections that count. And before I proceed with this, please, I already indicated, if you have any questions, just keep writing them. Keep writing the questions so that at the end of this session, we can dedicate, I'm hoping we can even have a at least 30 minutes maybe to having a Q&A session and discussing many other things, because that then will make sense of this particular session and beneficial to you. I'm taking some water. Just a moment, please. So as we look at building connections that count, we are thinking about building relationships, approaching mentors, networking, and generally mentorship. So we have to get this early. It's not too early for you to have an account that makes sense in LinkedIn. It's not too early for you. This is the time for you to start building your brand. If you're going into data analytics, if you have an interest in, say, AI, just within LinkedIn, your name will be there, a good professional photo will be there, then your LinkedIn headline, for example, will be saying, aspiring data analyst, and many other things, or aspiring data analyst, AI enthusiast, and that is enough for now for you to just position yourself and let the world know what your area of interest is. So it's important for you to start nurturing professional connections. Right here, right now, you may already have also organizations that you are eyeing, that you admire, that you wish you could work for in future. These are the organizations you can start following right now on LinkedIn, and even start connecting with people in those organizations, even before you go to university or before you finish university. No problem. Start connecting with people. But don't connect with people and once they connect with you, start bothering them in their inboxes. No. Think of your approach. Again, that's a different lesson altogether about how to communicate and how to remain professional when you're talking to people on LinkedIn. I made it clear as well earlier that we can't finish everything today, but I will give you a sound platform for you to stand on and for you to then know exactly what you can do from today. When you talk about networking, you have to also get into the business of creating a web of professional contacts. So this goes beyond the people who just know you. Create that web of professional contacts. So one way to do this is to attend events, organizations like also Predictive Analytics usually have open days. Join the open days, attend the open days, meet other professionals, get to understand what they are thinking. And for me, the age when people used to exchange business cards, I know some of you may not have them right now, but they do not make sense. If you have a good LinkedIn account and you have connected with someone on a professional level, just ask them whether they are on LinkedIn, look for them and send them a friend request. That way, the connection will be more meaningful because this will be someone you've already met. All right? So that's how I look at it. Then approaching mentors. Have strategies for approaching people that can be your potential mentors. All right? And I want to clarify something here. A mentor is someone who has a skill that you do not have or has a skill that is more advanced than yours. You may share a similar skill, but their skill is more advanced than yours. A mentor doesn't have to be someone older than you. A mentor can be someone younger than you. So as you think about mentors, think about someone either older or someone younger than you. It does not matter. As long as you see or they're ready to engage with you and you are sure they will add value to you. So that's important. All right. So that's it for that particular slide. All right. So let's move on. So how can we ensure that we are achieving high performance? While I was thinking about this, I was saying, okay, what would be the main things I can tell someone if they are saying, I want to be a high performer, I want to achieve? So these are the things that came to mind. First of all, you need to have a growth mindset. A growth mindset is, how best can I describe this? Is me now telling you to stay hungry, stay foolish. So when you stay hungry, you stay foolish, you have remained curious, you are embracing lifelong learning, you never call yourself an expert. You can refer to yourself as being knowledgeable, but you never quite accept the fact that you're an expert. What does that do to your mind? What it does to your mind is that it positions you to be ready to learn at every opportunity from other people or from online platforms. Resilience is another thing. Resilience is more about falling down 5 times and getting up 6 times. Falling down 10 times and getting up 11 times. Whatever is happening, you remain focused, you keep moving. That is a resilient human being. Don't lose focus, keep moving. Another one is adaptability. Adaptability is very important for you to maintain and achieve high performance. The only constant thing in the world today, in any industry, and even in our lives, even in the political landscape, is change. Change is there every day. So we have to adapt every day to all these things that happen in our lives, that happen in the place of work. So this is the new thing that is happening. We've had COVID. When COVID came, people had to start working from home. People had to adapt. Work stopped, but people realized, or organizations realized, hey, we have to move on. We can work virtually. If COVID may not have occurred the way it did, probably we'll have organized to meet in some workshop room somewhere, a workshop of 50 people. We have paid for the rooms, we have paid for food, we have paid for snacks, then only 10 people show up. So it's easier to the pocket to have this kind of interaction virtually. All right? Then there is continuous learning. Embracing continuous learning is very important. Do it without fail, do it with joy, and encourage others to do it as well. As we do all these things, it's important for you to be setting goals. Don't make plans that are not time-bound. When you say, for example, this is a personal story. I've been going to the gym for decades, but I've never gone to the gym. Why? Because my promise to myself to go to the gym is never time-bound. I never say, as from March this date, I'm going to start going to the gym and this is going to be my schedule. I never do that. I just wake up hoping that one day I'll start going to the gym. But when you set goals, then it makes it easier for you to feel the pressure of time and to keep the promise to yourself to do something. And that, to me, is very important. As part of goal setting, take this, by the way, as your note. Go and do research for yourself on how to draft a vision board. How to write a vision board, because that's another whole different ballgame. When you write a vision board, then you get it printed and you put it somewhere in your office or your room or your desk where you normally sit to work. When you put it right next to you where you can see it all the time, it gives you that sense of knowing where you are going and then giving you the pressure of how am I going to achieve this thing that is on my vision board. So go and do research as well on how to create your own vision board, because when you're creating your own vision board, it also gives you the challenge of you having to ask yourself what your why is. What is my why? My why is specifically, just to describe what a why is the thing that makes you wake up every day and get out of bed and say, I need to go to work or I need to go to school because this is what I want to achieve. All right? So that's important. Reflection is the final one in this list that is also very important. When we are talking about reflection, we are saying, do you take time in everything that is going on in your life? Do you take time to reflect on your journey and to analyze and reevaluate whether everything is going on well and where you need to make changes? Are you doing the same thing the same way every time, expecting different results? Because that is described as insanity. So let's not do that. All right? So it's very important for you to be sitting down and reflecting on your journey and where you have been, where you've come from, where you are now, and where you want to go. And as you think about where you want to go, the how of how you need to execute that and become successful in whatever you want to achieve. So as you think through this, please understand most sincerely that success is a journey, it's not a destination. Again, at the start of this particular webinar, I sent out a warning. The warning was simple. Never ever compare your journey to someone else's. Your journey is different, your journey is unique. Everything will fall in place in good time as long as you follow all these things that will make you achieve high performance. Growth mindset, resilience, adaptability, continuous learning, goal setting, very important, and reflection. Reflection is very important. Let me give another example about reflection. Sometimes we have startups that are growing organically and things are looking really good. Then suddenly they get an investor and they get excited and they see, wow, now we want to indulge in aggressive growth. Let us go to different markets, let us do different things. And they get into the aggressive growth. These organizations are so consumed with the aggressive growth that they forget what their original purpose was. And why is this so? When people are indulging in aggressive growth, they don't have time for themselves. People are overworked. People are only thinking numbers. They don't have time to reflect. So you find that sometimes startups will fail or organizations will fail because among their employees, there is no time for anyone to sit down and reflect, even reflect on strategies they have done that have gone wrong. No one is reflecting, and therefore things continue going wrong for a very long time to come, and by the time they want to correct it, it's too late. So yes, that's a reminder that success is a journey, not a destination. All right? So I also thought it important to discuss the matter of limiting beliefs. Sometimes we have things that really, it's internal. That's why, again, I'm saying these are internal barriers. You have some mind block, you are looking down upon yourself, and therefore you're not able to just do anything about your life to make it any better. And that is a problem. So some of the limiting beliefs that are stood out for me are the fear of failure. So here you're suffering from the anxiety of not succeeding. The anxiety of not succeeding that can hinder your progress. So already you've dismissed yourself. You already have a defeatist mindset. You've already given up on yourself. You've already decided, this one I can't. I can't be able to do this. This is not me. Or even one day when you get a job and you're promoted, you're already fearful. You're like, no, I can't be able to handle this role. No, 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 no. This is too much for me. Fear of failure. The next one is lack of confidence. So this is the feeling of inadequacy that undermines your self-assurance. You're just not confident. Again, when you look at these internal barriers, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go back and look at your personality types and then start digging in to understand who you are better. And then position yourself for roles in organizations that will be able to complement your personality. There is something for everyone. So you can't go wrong with that. There's something for everyone. Another one, for which I have been an expert for very many years, but so far so good in the most recent years, procrastination. Oh, goodness me. I have very big plans. I know exactly what I need to do to become filthy rich, but that's just it. I'm not ready to wake up early in the morning and crack on with the plans to ensure that I actually find success. I see people on YouTube or CEOs flying private jets. I'm like, wow, he's doing fine. I wish. No, but I'm not putting in the work for myself because I can also achieve that if I just focused. So there are times in our lives, and we have to be careful. Again, it goes back to the matter of you not comparing yourself to others. There are times in our lives when we really are just not fair to ourselves and we don't keep the promises we give to ourselves. And it doesn't matter to us. But when others fail to keep promises that they have given us, we lose our heads. Yet we forget that we never lose our heads when we don't keep words that we have promised ourselves for our own good in order to produce the best versions of ourselves. So procrastination is terrible. It's the tendency to delay actions that then result into missed opportunities. Remember, I've already talked about setting goals. When you don't set goals that are time-bound, then that for sure is procrastination in action. So be very careful. Then there's the fear of rejection. You just fear you'll be turned down, or no, I can't stand and I can't make an application in that company. I don't know anyone there. Come on, man. If you have skills that you've drilled deep and you're confident about your command of those skills, then you should not fear rejection. So the point here is always aim to make yourself a better version of yourself every day, because that builds on your confidence. And therefore, it might then get rid of the fear of rejection. Then another common one, and this is where some of you may be, not actually knowing where to start. I hope that with this session we've had today, you are at a better place to know where to start. In case you want me to remind you, I will say this. Please pay attention to the personality test. And by the way, when you get employed, again, a few things will change in terms of the results you'll get in terms of your personality. Some few elements will change. So that should not surprise you. What your personality type was today may not be the same tomorrow. Some aspects of it may change. Some aspects of it may change. All right? Okay. We're doing well in terms of time. So I want each one of you to remember that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I need you to know that. I need you to internalize that. If you haven't done anything about trying to really find a footing for your career, well, you can start today. I hope that I've been able to give you guidance for you to be more confident about how to make your next steps. And in terms of communicating with predictive analytics, find out more about what they have to offer that can also then complement your personality. All right. So I need you to join that so that we see what questions are there. You now can ask me questions. I think you can ask them through Slido. I'm just not sure. I can't remember whether they pop up on the screen, but no problem. Now the floor is open for questions exactly at the time I wanted. I wanted us to dedicate about 30 minutes to Q&A so that we can make this session very meaningful. So I'm also just, at this point in time, I'm turning on my video just to confirm to you guys that I'm human. All right. You don't have to ask your questions on Slido. If you don't want to, you can just unmute and ask a question. This is the time for the Q&A session. You can also type in the chat if you want, whichever way. Slido, chat. Lovely. This is an interesting one. There is no way to confirm that the info on LinkedIn is true until you interact with a prospective candidate. So maybe their LinkedIn profiles look really good and they're talking about big things. In the case of an interview, ask them questions related to the stuff they're talking about. If they're not able to articulate themselves well, then that's one way to discover that they are not telling the truth. Another point is, are the dates for jobs or roles on LinkedIn complementing what is in their CV? If it's not complementing what is in their resume, then something is not right. Again, you can ask questions. Point number 3, and many organizations are now doing this, you can make use of third-party companies that do reference checks on your behalf. So those are many different ways that can be done. So yes, knowing if the info on LinkedIn is true is not easy, because every professional on LinkedIn is selling themselves in a certain way. LinkedIn is your virtual resume that the whole world has access to. And people will have different stories to say on LinkedIn that are untrue. I have witnessed it. Yes, it's fine, but an interview situation will be able to unearth that kind of situation. And some organizations also include tests. They include many different things, including giving you case studies just to see exactly how you're thinking and to confirm whether you are at the level you're claiming to be on LinkedIn. All right, I hope I've answered that question. Any other question? Let me see. Are there opportunities for community-based startups in data analytics? Community-based startups in data analytics, if you are looking to be innovative rather than looking for work for organizations, I am not sure. That is my answer to you, but I believe that there might be. Maybe the team from predictive analytics can be able to chime into this one or think through it. But I'm sure that if you interacted more with predictive analytics, you may find other professionals that were formerly been trained by predictive analytics or currently being trained by predictive analytics who have this same interest as yourself. So I think I can't sweep this under the carpet by saying there is none. There must be. Anything you're thinking about, even if it's a business idea, someone somewhere in the world has already thought about it. That's why procrastination is dangerous. When you're thinking, do it and have the first mover advantage. Interesting. Can I talk more about CV format? This one is one size does not fit all. But a CV should be interesting. Some people look at only content within the CV. Others look at how well structured it is in terms of outlook. Is it visually appealing to the eyes? So within a CV format, okay, so point number one, have your name there, have your email there, have your preferred phone number. I usually encourage people to have just one email, the one that you most prefer and have access to. And I also encourage people to have just one phone number, the one you prefer and have access to. So name, email, phone number. You can also include a link to your LinkedIn profile if it is up to date. If there's nothing to write home about in terms of your LinkedIn profile, then don't have it there. Then you can have your, below all those things I've mentioned, you can have your professional summary, just talking about the kind of person you are. Then below that, you can start either with your education, or instead of the education or before education, it can be your key achievements, or instead of that, depending on the number of the years of experience you have, then you can start with your work, then end with, after work is when you do education, or since you don't have work experience, you start with education, then you show the little bit of work that you have done. Then, of course, some people will include referees. My warning to you as you go into the job market, say you graduate from university or stuff like that, don't have your lecturers as your referees. Have them as your referees during industrial attachment and all that. But once you're out, try and get other people to be your referees, other professionals to be your referees. Why? Because when you have other people like that as your referees, it shows that you're green, you don't have experience, you're fresh out of school. So people that are looking for experience will most likely avoid you. Within the CV, some people are usually very tempted to have their pictures there. If they've not asked for you to have your picture in your CV, don't put it there. So if you're very happy about how you look, no, the CV is not the place to put that kind of picture. Let us have that nice picture showing your face clearly on LinkedIn. All right. Others will not. So I was talking about referees. So there are people who will include referees, others will not. They'll say to be furnished upon request. Not really. Some people, yes, if you're really good, you'll be contracted to provide the referees. But the problem with that is that when the time comes and recruiters are busy, they will not have time to start telling you, oh, by the way, get us your referees. If they are not already been listed, they'll opt for applications that already have referees written in them. So you need to be careful. The CV issue can be discussed in length some other time, in all honesty, but also please reach out to me also via LinkedIn. I already told you, look for Aloyo Mateshe on LinkedIn. I can help you sort out your CV and cover letter, help you prepare for interviews, and then also help you refine your LinkedIn profile, because that's stuff I do. Another question is, sometimes the personality test may provide a response that feels inaccurate. Should you work to change it, or is it a gradual process? I love that question. So the point here is this. Please, and this is why I told you guys, don't overthink while you're doing the personality test. Give the first answer that comes to your head, because that first answer is the real you. If you start thinking about, do I do this, do I do that? That is not the real you. Don't start evaluating the answers to decide what is most suitable under the circumstances. All right? So my point to you is that it is okay to keep on doing the personality tests, even twice a year or once a year, because they'll keep changing. So do not worry about that. Please describe any trend shaping future of data analytics. The group from Predictive Analytics will talk more about that. However, the little I'll say about that is that AI is really shaking up many things in the world, because AI is also collecting data. As you make an inquiry on the platform, it's collecting that data and becoming smarter and refining the answers it has to give more and more people that are engaging with it. So in terms of describing a trend shaping the future of data analytics, I will confidently tell you artificial intelligence is a trend, and AI is something you guys must embrace. You must embrace. And as you embrace it, don't try to compete with AI, because that's a losing game. The speed is too fast. But learn how to make it work for you. Learn how to make it work for you. Let me see the chat, just in case I've seen there are some chats here. Yes, Eileen, I've seen your response. So what Eileen has asked in the chat, what are some of the factors that we can consider to boost our personalities for better adaptability? I think I've covered everything. So you being self-aware is really a plus. You really need to know who you are and how you respond to many different situations. So Eileen, I think I want to also state this. It is important for you to embrace or learn something or do a course on emotional intelligence. This is important for all of you, because when you do a short course on emotional intelligence, what it does is that it will make you more aware of how you handle your own emotions and how you are supposed to notice the emotions of other people around you. And in that kind of situation, therefore, say a work situation, you do not take things out of hand when someone is having a bad day and perhaps they have snapped at you. With emotional intelligence, you'll understand that even with the body language of this person, their day has not been good, and therefore you don't take things personal. All right? So that is a factor, to me, is a factor that can boost your personality for better adaptability, embracing the art of understanding emotional intelligence. I think that will be my answer to you for that one. Many people, youth, are well educated and they have the knowledge to work in the market space. The only challenge they are facing is finding those opportunities because most employers are always asking for experience. How would you advise them in getting to the market professionally as startups, but also remember startups come with lots of financial cost? Okay. The first thing I want to tell you guys is, even when we think about data analytics, even when we think about AI, even when we think about coding and programming, many of the areas of specialization or many of the careers right now allow for you to build a portfolio. So you may not be exactly working for an organization, but you have skills and competencies to show that you're able to achieve certain things. So learn the art of building a portfolio. That is one way you can be able to say, hey, see what I have done before. See what I have done before. That is the point number one. Point number two, find out about organizations that may need the kind of skills you have for you to volunteer your services to them. What should they do in return? They can confirm that you worked for them and you solved A, B, C, and D problems on their behalf. So that then will also then start building on your level of trust in the market, because someone will say, hey, oh, so you've done this for this organization. So you've done this for this organization. Let us also then move away from the mindset that we must get a job that pays. It is okay to be a volunteer to help you build on your experience. Some voluntary jobs also give some stipends. So it depends on how you positioned yourself. So what I've said there is create a portfolio, show the world the portfolio, or present it to organizations you have an interest in working for, and then also look out for volunteer opportunities in different organizations that will make use of your skills. Go in and aim to shine. If you remain very professional, they may surely not let you go. All right? So I hope I've answered that particular question. Any other questions? Or do I give it back to the moderator? Because I think we've covered everything so far. Any other questions? All right. So back to you, moderator. Thank you very much, people.
Thank you so much, Aloy, for that insightful and sorry. So we've come to the end of our sessions, and I want to thank you all for making it through up to this section. I want to thank our esteemed speaker, Aloy, for sharing his valuable insights and actionable wisdom plans with us today. I also want to thank you all for joining us for this webinar. I'm sure your presence has made this event a success, and we are grateful for your time and commitment for learning with us. So lastly, you can follow us across our social media platforms at Predictive Analytics Lab, or visiting our website page that I've just shared via chat. Or in case you have any inquiries around data analytics coding, programming, or data science, feel free to reach out via the number I've shared via the chat as well. So my parting shot will be to remind you guys that success is not an overnight achievement. It's a step-by-step through curiosity, continuous learning, and encourage to pursue opportunities that align with your passion and interest. So there being no other questions, I'll believe we'll end the session there. So thank you all and do enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.